Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. So, if you guys seen my last vlog, you'll know that I love family trees. I like making like family trees of history and European monarchs and that kind of stuff. Today I thought I would make like a full family tree of European monarchs. Maybe not a full one, but of most European monarchies in the world. So I'm gonna be doing 4 in this video, maybe a bit more, but I don't know how many I'll do, so I'm doing 4 as the moment. We've got Portugal, Spain, England, Scotland, and France. Going all the way drawing them on this board. As I said, I'm not sure if I'll do any others like Germany or like any of the other ones. But I think because I've done like those 4 already, and I just thought I could just maybe merge them into one, because I have drawn all of them, and if you've seen the video where I showed the family trees, I showed all of them. But the thing is, when I draw them, I intend all of them to like connect, so like all of them will be connected, and all the family trees I will draw are all connected. So just kind of thought I would show you like the process of making them. This might be a bit of a shorter video, but yeah, let's get into it. So we're gonna be doing Portugal here, and then right next it'll be Spain, which will be followed by the England and Scotland for the UK, and then we have France. And I prepare myself by getting 4 packets of pens, so that should be good. Alright everyone, so I completed the first tree, which was Spain, and yeah, it is quite big, and I will show you a full view of it in a little bit, but as you can see, this is an orange, and it's also Spain's still a current monarchy. You might notice a bit of a blue and a bit of pink and red here. Those are the other houses. So pink is going to be Portugal, red is England, and light blue is France. I'm just putting them all there right now so that I have a reference of like where everything's going to go, because I've already taken pictures of all these family trees. I'm just copying from that, and it's a very good thing because the red might not stay here, might move like over there a little bit, maybe a bit more over here, but it's good at reference to see where it is, and it's a very interesting bit of history too. So as you can see, we start with the kingdom of Asturias right here, which then leads on to the kingdom of Leon, and it went back and forth to these families until we get to the kingdom of Castile and Leon, which then leads down to Castile and Leon kind of splitting up for a bit. So we've got the Castile side here and the Leon side here, but then it eventually reunited again here, and then eventually the kingdom of Castile and Leon married into the kingdom of Aragon. Now I started with number 10 because there was enough room, and that one doesn't really matter too much. But as you can see, around this point here is when it all starts connecting. So the King of Spain becomes King of Portugal, and that's why his number is a little bit smaller here. I don't know if you can tell, but this person and these two there are surrounded by multiple colors because he was King of Spain, Portugal, and England. So I just kind of put him in 3 different colors for that one. And then it also goes down to present day, and you can't see the full board, but as I said, I'll show you well it looks like a little bit. But yeah, we also got the Kingdom of France in here. One interesting thing is that the 10th king, which is up here, for some reason I can't really find a connection with him. Also, I have also numbered the monarchs, so yeah, I just doing them like 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on instead of giving them their names, because I feel like it's more simplified. You're like, oh, okay, this was the first king, the second king. That's why it happened. And as you can see, I've also gave like when each country became which. So this is when Spain actually began with number 47, 48. So you could say that's when Spain began, but the reason why I included all this before that is because the King of Spain at that time, when it was actually called the King of Spain, was Ferdinand II. And so I had to go back trying to find who Ferdinand I was, which leads me to the Kingdom of Asturias. So bit of family tree there. So the next monarchy I'm going to do is the Kingdom of Portugal, which is going to go right here on the side of Spain. I'm trying to do it like geographically, so it's like Portugal, Spain, England, Scotland, France. That's what I'm trying to do. And here's the family tree in full if you want to see it. So I'm just going to leave it up on the screen. You can pause. It's the full family tree. Sorry if it's a bit hard to read, but there are a lot of monarchs here. So I tried to keep it as short as possible. But yeah. Alright, well, I'm back and I've just finished the Portugal family tree. So I'll let you see that. Now, one thing I'm not really too happy with is that you can't really see it here, but the Portugal family tree kind of ends around the same time as the Spanish family tree, which is weird because I wanted to end earlier because the Spanish family tree is still going because the Spanish monarchy is still a thing, but the Portuguese monarchy isn't. And so I don't like the fact that it's around ending at the same points. But apart from that, as you can see, it connects through here. You'll see that the three kings of Spain, one of the kings of Portugal, and we got the king of Portugal here. Down here was a little bit of an empire, but it was only one king that was an empire, and it also leads into the Empire of Brazil as well. So, because one of the kings, Pierre the Fourth, was also Emperor of Brazil, and unfortunately there was only two emperors in it before it ended. But yeah, that is basically it for Portugal. Once again, I will show the full family tree in a bit, but yeah, I don't think a lot of people know about the Portugal and monarchy. This one's a nice, very simple one. In fact, of all the family trees I've got, this is the only one I didn't have a picture of, but yeah, it's very simple. So next we'll do England. Actually, no, next will be France. Yeah, France will be next. Then we put here, and then England and Scotland will be right next to it. So that's the plan. And here is the family tree for Portugal. And as I said, you can see that the Portuguese family ends around the same time as the Spanish family, even though this ended a decade prior. But it's okay. I mean, this is just still like maybe a temporary one. It's not like the official version of it. I'm just like, kind of like getting used to the fact of like, okay, where's this gonna go? How's it gonna look like? So yeah, this is the family tree of the Portuguese monarchs. Right, well, so I've now just finished France, and then we go through it. So there was a little bit of a mistake with the Spanish monarchs over here. I forgot to add the person. But as you can see, I fixed that now. And the French monarchs and Spanish monarchs connect through here. You'll see that these two were actually brothers. And basically what happened is that this king, number 47, Louis XIV, his son was both in line for the Spanish and French throne. And so they thought, it made sense that one of his sons would be the heir for France, and the other one would be for Spain. So that's why they were split. And it gets a little bit messy here with the Empire of France and republics, but it's basically simple. And you can actually, the Republic of France is just there. So this board thankfully covers the entirety of France. There you can just see the Republic of France on the screen. And you'll notice a bit of red in here as well. That's for the English monarchs. We're going to do them in a minute, but as you can see, this is really when, like, number 23, I think his name was, like, Philip II. Don't quote me on that, though. But basically, he was the first, like, king of France. He was the first king to have the name King of France. And so, we have that there. Now, I think that the French monarch family tree is... I feel like it would make more sense for it to be a bit more closer the Spanish monarch, so like it would just go like a little bit more here. But this is more of a prototype type thing, because I've made like the family trees of all these. I've also made the Portugal and Spain and France separately, but I've never actually done them like together on one. So this is kind of like testing out different things. I might maybe want to move some there and some different direction. This is kind of a playing about with it basically. So next we're going to do the English monarchs, and then finally we'll do the Scottish monarchs. I think that might be all for today, but if I have another like maybe German monarchs, I might fit it in there, but no guarantees. Alright, once I've now done England and Scotland together, and there it is, both of them together. I thought it would be a bit more simple if I just did them both together instead of doing them individually. So I don't know if you guys can see that well, but down here is where it connects. You probably know that, well, you might not know, but basically, after the death of Elizabeth I, the only other line was through James VI of Scotland, because, as you can see through here, it was full family layered, and that's why the kingdoms of England and Scotland united. And this is another one that's kind of a bit tricky to work with, because the thing is, like, right, is that, like, for example, number 26, it says Edward the First, I believe, and his sister married the 30th king, which was Alexander III. So I have to make sure that all of them line up so that it has to get to there. I have to make sure that all the numbers line up, which is why it's a bit more bigger here, because I had to make sure I had to fully connect, and that's also why I moved this person to there, because I couldn't really move it lower, otherwise it would kind of ruin everything, so I had to do that. I know it's a bit slanty in some places, like, this is definitely slanty, but I'm not making it 100% perfect, and this is also just like testing out where I think stuff would go. There is a lot of space down here, I don't know if you can see that, but like, there's a lot of space here, so I could maybe do like Belgium or the Netherlands down there as well. And potentially, if I ever do more, I could always have like Germany here, and I think that would be a good idea to do, because also it's not just these five that are connected, there are tons of others as well. So yeah, I will show you both a close-up of this, as well as France, because I just remember that I did not do a close-up of France, so yeah, let's do that now. Okay, so we're going to start with the close-up of France, so you can pause and look carefully. It was originally known as the Kingdom of the Franks, or King of the Franks, before moving on to Kingdom of France here, because this king from 23 was known as the King of France, right there. And then we have England, Scotland, and then the United Kingdom. So this is basically the entirety of England, starting from the King of Wessex to the King of England. Number 17 here is William the Conqueror. So you could argue it starts with him, but I thought I was put in the Wessex as well, because as you can see, there is a connection to the French monarchs here, but also kind of gives you like a bit more context as well to like how like the Battle of Hastings and everything began. We also have the first part of Scotland here, and one interesting thing is that Queen Mary of Scotland was the 42nd monarch, and Elizabeth II was the 42nd monarch. And so when King James took the throne, he became the 43rd King of Scotland, as well as the 43rd King of England. So it all matches up nicely. So let's get a nice good view of Scotland. And then we'll do both Britain and the UK here. I put the UK in purple because it wasn't until Queen Anne right here that it became the Kingdom of England. Well, of the United Kingdom. So that's what happened. Well, actually, it technically became the United Kingdom with George III, which is number 9 here. But the Great Britain was created when Queen Anne was around and during her reign. And then number 13 is the current king, King Charles. And just like before with Portugal, is that I'm not a big fan that Spain and the United Kingdom don't end roughly the same, because I want to like, Spain and the United Kingdom would end around the same point, because this is like present day, and I try to kind of match it with the eras, but it doesn't fully work like that, but I'm not too mad. And now I'll show you the entire board all together. There we go, so you can pause that there if you want to. I know that's that, guys. That's the entirety of the European family tree. Well, maybe not entirety, because I also haven't included, like, Germany and all that stuff, but that's just like, I assume some more bigger ones are there, and if I ever do like animal monarchies, I know that okay, those are how those ones are connected, and so what I can kind of do is like, okay, so I can change it to there. Yeah, so thank you for watching. I'll see you on my next vlog. Goodbye. Why did I record this part on the floor?